Welcome back to another episode of Real Ass Affirmations. I am Chisa Pennix-Brown, your lifestylist, and there has been something that has been happening in your life that you do not even realize is happening a lot of times because you have these friends in your life, and I'm going to put friends in air quotes. And you'll understand exactly what I mean by the time that we get to the end of this episode. So let me tell you what's happening to you. You are being marginalized. Do you know what that means? It means you're being treated as insignificant or peripheral. And the reason that you're being marginalized is often jealousy. Jealousy. You have someone in your life that is actually jealous of who you are, of what you're trying to do, of who you're becoming, and you're pulling away from them. But not intentionally. You're just trying to do better and be better. But they feel like you're pulling away from them intentionally. They see the growth that you have. And at first, they probably wanted to be a part of it. But what they start to realize is that your growth is beyond their comfort zone. Shit! Your growth is beyond their comfort zone because they're not willing to make the changes and the sacrifices and do the things that you're willing to do in order to get what you want. Now, this has happened to me before, which is why I can speak on it now. And what happens is you're so into your friendship, your relationship, your situationship that at the time, it seems like something you should just shrug off. It seems like something that may not even really be happening, which is why you don't realize it. Because you're so happy with your accomplishment, with your goals, with your level of achievement, with your tenacity, with your stick-to-itiveness, that you didn't even see that you were being marginalized. You didn't see it. You definitely didn't see it. So let me tell you some signs that will let you know that you're being marginalized. Let's say you have a business and your person says, oh, your little business. Oh, you're still doing that. Oh, I thought you would have stopped a long time ago. Wow. Okay. I didn't think you were going to keep going. These are terms that let you know that whatever you started, they're surprised that you're still doing it. They're surprised that you had an idea and that you are still making it happen when they may have had ideas that they let go by the wayside, which is why they marginalize you with their commentary. If every time you say something about your business, about your goal, it could be weight loss, it could be a relationship, whatever, and they always have a but, and that but that they say is always related to something that you used to do, the habits that you used to have, and they're not willing to recognize and accept the fact that you've already changed. And so that but is them saying that you may backslide, and they don't really believe that your accomplishment is going to continue. They are marginalizing you. If every time you bring up your goal, your accomplishment, and they change the subject, almost immediately you're marginalized. If every time you bring up your goal, your accomplishment, and they are comparing you to someone else that is probably far beyond you, that you're not trying to even catch up with because you're not paying attention to them, you're just focused on you, they are marginalizing you. If every time you say something, they criticize you, they demean what you're doing, they diminish it, you are being marginalized. If all of a sudden you're talking about how great you're doing and you're talking about these accomplishments and they have unnecessary questions that don't relate to what you're actually talking about to get you off subject from talking about how great you're doing, you are being marginalized. If they say things like, well, when you get such and such, it'll be better. Well, when you get da da da, but whatever that thing is that they're saying, right? They know that you don't have it now. And so they're telling you that what you're doing right now is not necessarily good enough. But when you get such and such, then it'll be good enough. You're being marginalized. If they say, well, it could have been better. Well, I would have done such and such. I wouldn't have done it that way. Well, you should have. You could have. Now, these things are not just criticisms. These things are critical criticisms because they want to find fault with whatever it is that you're doing that is positive and making a change in your life. If they also say, well, why didn't you do boop de boop, whatever that thing is? And you're just like, because I wanted to do it this way. And mind you, the way that you're doing things, the shit is successful. Things are working out the way that you need to. So they're asking you, why didn't you do something else? Not recognizing the fact that what you've done has already been satisfactory and successful. They're marginalizing you. Okay? Now, if they say things like, it took long enough, what? It took as long as it was going to take for you to get what you needed. If they're dismissive, if they belittle you, they are marginalizing you. And it is your time to step out of this shadow of people that marginalize you. If they then want to also know, well, how much did that cost? How much time did you spend on it? Oh, well, that was a waste. I don't know why it took so long for you to do X, Y, Z. Oh, you spent that much money on it? Oh, well, that's nice. Must be nice. When they say things like that, they are marginalizing you and your accomplishments and your goals. It is time to recognize it. And it took me years to recognize the fact that I was being marginalized, which is why I can stand here with you today and say to you, fuck them people, because they are so scared of you glowing, growing, and showing the fuck out with your awesomeness that they continue to marginalize you to keep you in a place that you will not be able to surpass them. But when they're marginalizing you, I want you to know something right now, sweetheart. You have already surpassed them. So now that you know the signs of marginalization, what are you going to do about it? This is a real question. What are you going to do about it? I want you to think about that. I want you to ponder that this week. And I'm sure that within a year of you listening to this episode, I want you to come back to it because you're probably not going to be friends with that person or persons any longer. So make sure that you ponder this question. What are you going to do about the person or people in your life who are marginalizing you, your goals, and your accomplishments? It's time for you to answer that question for yourself. Now make sure that you share this message with anyone that you feel like that needs to hear this, because I know that there's somebody out there and you're probably the cheerleader and you're pom-pomming and rooting for them, but there's somebody else who's marginalizing them. Share this message because it is real out here and they're trying to marginalize us and we are not having it anymore. Fuck them people. Let's keep on being great. Let's keep on growing and glowing and showing the fuck out. This has been Chisa Pennix with another episode of Real Ass Affirmations. Make sure that you tune in every week to get all the good stuff that you need. The good stuff, not that fluff. See you soon.